Sometimes I'll hear movie fans say that a particular actor just plays themselves a lot in movies, meaning that the perception of this actor's personality mirrors their characters. I think this is a criticism that actors like Tom Cruise or Jennifer Lawrence get a lot, but this did make me think about how in some movies, some actors are just playing themselves, not just because the character is similar to them, but because the character literally is them. They were the muse, the inspiration for this character, and sometimes the entire movie. And of course, I have examples that I have put into a letterbox list. It's called a muse. He wrote it for her. Because there is no greater honor as a muse and as an actress than to play a facsimile of yourself in one of your lover's great works. There's a variety of different movies on this list, but unfortunately, you kind of couldn't talk about this thing without discussing the work of Woody Allen, because as a director, he's a repeat offender of using his own personal life as source material, and then having the woman who inspired the movie star in it, like Diane Keaton, who inspired the movie and character Annie Hall, and then went on to win an Academy Award for it. But then there's also movies like Hannah and Her Sisters that just feels like a confession. I mean, it stars his then partner Mia Farrow and is about a love triangle with a woman, her husband, and one of her very close relatives. But Woody isn't the only director guilty of this. The director Blake Edwards rarely made a movie that didn't include a part for his wife Julie Andrews in it. For movies like 10 to The Tamarind Seed or Victor Victoria, Blake was always writing a good part for Julie that would showcase her talents as a singer and a comedian. And given that all these characters in all these different movies are prim English singers with hearts of gold, it's really not too far off to kind of guess that he was essentially just writing Julie in all of these movies. And then there's Anne Reinking, the beloved girlfriend of Broadway legend Bob Fosse, who went on to star in All That Jazz as the young dancing ingenue that Roy Schneider's fake Fosse falls in love with. And while Anne is just playing herself, she's damn good at it. And then there's Sybil Shepherd, who gifted her then boyfriend, director Peter Bogdanovich, with a book of Cole Porter's music, which inspired him to write the movie At Long Last Love. So, of course, Bogdanovich not only had to kind of write a part for her, he had to cast Sybil Shepherd, even though she's not a great singer, and he did have Barbara Streisand's number, but I digress. There's also a really more recent example, Francis Ha, directed by Noah Baumbach, who, after his first marriage failed, might have decided that he was going to be different in his relationship with Greta Gerwig and decided to write a fantastic part for her in a film. And of course, you kind of have to mention Jenna Rollins and John Cassavetes' opening night. Cassavetes, like Edwards, was always including his wife in his projects and arguably knew how to use her talent as an actress better than any other director. And as an honorable mention, there's Susan Sarandon in Dead Man Walking, a movie that is technically based on a true story, but was directed by Tim Robbins, her then partner, who was determined to see his woman win the Academy Award for Best Actress that he knew she so rightfully deserved. And, well, he succeeded. But as I was putting this list together, I was a little disappointed that there weren't more examples of male actors playing facsimiles of themselves in a film that he'd inspired his filmmaking partner to make. And, well, the closest I kind of got was Daniel Day Lewis starring in his wife Rebecca Miller's film, The Ballad of Jack and Rose, which is close but no dice. But I would to love to see some additional suggestions, because while others may degrade an actor who essentially plays himself in a movie, I'd still argue that it's a pretty hard thing to pull off. But I'd love to know from other people. Have you seen some of these movies? What do you think of these movies? And what do you think of this concept of an actor being a muse for not just a character, but kind of an entire movie?